Yo, what's going on, everybody? We are here live. This is the November 26th, 2023 edition of the Boxing Source podcast. That's right. We here. We are live. What's going on, everybody? We got, a few things here that we're going to be talking about, on this particular podcast. We wanted to follow up with what happened yesterday in the fight card with David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade headlining that fight card in Mandalay Bay. And you'll also go through, the fights that were on the undercard, and then also talk about something with Teofimo Lopez, or where he was on with I think it was like fight hype or something like that, and he said that there was an offer for a big fight that was talked about to potentially happen in February, but he was like, nah. So we're going to be going through that here a little bit later. But on this thing here right now on the Boxing Source podcast, we wanted to get back to what happened on Saturday night in the super middleweight division. You had two undefeated fighters there. Of course, you had the interim WBC super middleweight champion, David Benavidez, coming in there undefeated. His opponent was also an undefeated fighter, two-division world champion, Demetrius Andrade. You had David Benavidez coming in there with a record of 27 wins, with 23 of those wins by way of knockout. And then you had Demetrius Andrade with a record of 32-0, with 19 of those wins by way of knockout. You had, both of these guys, only had one fight earlier this year. Demetrius Andrade fought Damon Nicholson over in D.C. at the Capital One Arena. And then, of course, you had David Benavidez facing former IBF super middleweight champion Caleb Plant in March, where, he was able to score a unanimous decision win over Caleb Plant, and Demetrius Andrade was able to score a unanimous decision win over Damon Nicholson. With that fight that Demetrius Andrade had over Damon Nicholson, he pretty much had a clean shutout there in a 10-round bout. But that was his first fight that he had in over a year. So, he's coming in there. He was already at 160, moving up to 168 in order to have this fight against Damon Nicholson. While you had David Benavidez, having that big fight there against Caleb Plant, but has been, pretty much at the 168-pound division for the majority of his professional career. He kind of started around at 170, 175 or whatnot, but then kind of got acclimated to the 168-pound division and just, was, beating guys here. This was, the first fight for David Benavidez against the Southpaw man in Demetrius Andrade, and like I said, two-division world champion Demetrius Andrade, very, unorthodox, but he kind of, tried to see if he could make himself a three-division world champion and face, one of the top guys there in the super middleweight division in David Benavidez. But before, I go through, breakdown, wanted to have one guest on here with us. He's been waiting to get on here because he kind of said that he wanted something in reference to an opponent that was on. So we got Zoe in the building, man. What's happening with you?
Lamont Roach and Hector Garcia fucking sucks. Yo. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that Chris Colbert lost to this guy because I was big on Chris Colbert. This guy sucks. This guy makes all type of mistake, and Lamont Roach couldn't capitalize on him until after the back half of the fight. Oh my God. Both these guys, these guys are the weakest link at 130. Coidina embarrassed Roach. Navarrete knocks Roach out. Foster knocks Roach out. And I think this version of Jamar Herring, he probably squeezes by and beat him barely. That's what I think of Roach.
Hey, I mean, he already beat Lamont Roach, 4 years ago. When he defended the WBO title at that time, but he said he wouldn't mind facing either one of those guys.
Ew.
But man, I mean, yo, what was that? That was like that first bout in the pay-per-view. And man, you know what it was. Some folks were talking about, oh, maybe Hector Luis Garcia got affected by, fighting Tank Davis in January, But Lamar Roach had been on the show for a good little bit too. You know what I'm saying? He was waiting for his, mandatory shot. After what it was, you had Hector Garcia. He won the belt by like he won that belt last year.
Yeah.
And even in that particular bout, I thought that he had a good performance there when he was able to win the title against Roger Gutierrez. But yeah, that fight before where he beat Chris Colbert, everybody thought that Chris Colbert was gonna style on him, and man, he just ended up getting knocked down and all that type of stuff. But
it's like his defense is so, because even Chris Colbert just can't punch his way through a wet paper bag. That's the difference. But he is so hittable. Chris Colbert was winding up with big, like towards the end of the fight before he mentally quit. He was loading up with big shots and telegraphically just hitting them with flush. I'm like, this guy is horrible. And people try to make a big deal out of him. I know why people try to make a big deal out of him. He's a Tank opponent. It's all part of the big Tank conspiracy.
Oh, here we go.
We all know that. We all know that. But yeah.
Here we go with this, man. Here we go with this about Tank conspiracy, man. Like, listen, man. We ain't really got to be talking about Tank Davis here at this particular point. We'll table that for a little bit, because apparently you say that I said that Hector Luis Garcia was Tank Davis's best win.
You did say that on film, on documented. You have to wear that. You're gonna have to wear that for the rest of your life. If you happen to die before me, I'm gonna make sure that it's written in your obituary.
Oh no! I'm sure that I said it was Jose Pedraza, man. Come on.
Nah, you said that. Nah, but congratulations to Lamont Roach. That's one thing. I'm not a big fan of the 4-belt thing, but that's one thing the 4-belt do give you opportunities of. You can fall off the bike and you could get up and try again. It might take forever, but you might try again. Or you might be Conseca, and every time you lose, you just get another title shot.
Or you could be like, man, like it don't have to be just Roach and Conseca, you know what I'm saying? You had other guys that have, had multiple opportunities to try to win a world title and, kind of fail, you know what I'm saying? What it was like, you got like, who is it? Like Mick Conlon, you know what I'm saying? That's had a whole bunch of opportunities.
Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell, has had a few opportunities. Who else? Like they had, guys there at featherweight that had a bunch of opportunities too. You know what I'm saying?
And Chris Sora has some opportunities.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was, man, but that's the thing, man. You get those shots and that be it, man,
And then in a couple of years, when they finally add the IBO, this is gonna become more frequent, unfortunately.
That wouldn't be a good look, you know what I'm saying?
It's coming.
I mean, you got Joet Gonzalez has had, like a whole bunch of opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Isaac Dogbo has some opportunities.
Yeah, but he's been a world champ though.
Yeah, you're right. But when you're a WBO dude and you fought a top dude who had, if you're a top ranked dude and you had a tough fight against a champion, expect more title shots down the line.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we see that with Emmanuel Navarrete and Joet Gonzalez. I mean, those are the two biggest examples right there.
Consecutively too. No matter how bad you lose, they'll keep recycling that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you talk about this thing here with Lamont Roach and Hector Luis Garcia, man. Yeah, like Garcia, I didn't know what in the world Garcia was doing, man. And
What was your
this
score?
look, huh?
What was your scorecard?
Oh man, I had a what, like 8-4 in favor of Lamont Roach.
Okay, let me look because I know I sent this shit to somebody, so I have it somewhere here. I think I
Yeah.
had it. Let me see. I know I had Lamont Roach winning, but I didn't have it as wide. I think I might have had it like 7-5, I think, with the knockdown. Yeah, I
Man,
think I might have had it 114. Yeah, I had it 115, 112 Lamont Roach. I gave Roach the first 2 rounds, and then I gave Garcia round 3 all the way to round 7, and then I gave Roach the remaining rounds.
yeah, I mean, but the thing was, it was like a lot of those rounds, you really didn't have that much action. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I think in the first 2 rounds, Garcia sucked more than Roach did. And in the next couple of rounds, Roach sucked more or less than Garcia did. You feel me? I think that's what happened. It was just alternating who sucked more. Pause.
Like, I mean, the thing was, it was like you really didn't have much, activity, going from either one of those fighters, man. Like it was just not
I'm
like
gonna put it
like
this way. What?
more, better, like it would have been a better off um a fight, you know what I'm saying, especially to open up,
I'm
what they said, man, like 400 over 400 punches from both fighters, and the thing that got me was like Lamont Roach ended up throwing less total punches than Hector Luis Garcia, and it just
yeah.
didn't say Garcia was throwing that many punches at all, man.
Listen, I think what's the kid name who just won the what's his name? Zyquan Moss. What's his name? The kid out of Newark, the amateur out of Newark. What's his name?
I wouldn't know, man. I had
He's
to
with
look.
Shakur. He's with the Shakur camp. I think he might be Shakur's nephew or some shit. He the youngest dude to win the Golden Gloves. I think like I feel like what you saw with Hector Garcia versus Lamont Roach is what you expect to see in a high level amateur fight. You feel me? Like if you was watching the championship bout in a national glove, that's the skill level you should.
Golden gloves or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you expect. You feel me? The amateur mistake, but they still high level dudes. That's what you expect to see. Not in a championship fight. That's why I'm seeing people on Twitter talk about, wow, Lamont Roaches. Wow. I'm like, what the fuck was you watching? These niggas suck. Both these niggas suck. Yo, is Charlo Dominican? I don't mean to change the subject. Is Charlo Dominican?
I mean, I don't know, man. I seen the hat that one of his guys in the corner wore, but I mean, like I'd never, seen him kind of like show anything where he would say he's like part Dominican.
Because if
Uh,
they are Dominican, it'll explain a lot. The crying, the beta male shit, the performance against Canelo, that should explain all of that shit. Getting
I don't
smacked.
know about Carlos, man. I don't know, man. Man, I got my guy coming up in here, man, to talk more about the fights too with us. The boxing academic is in the building.
What's
You know,
up?
we
What's
go
going
in.
on, fellas? What's going on?
Yo,
So,
that first fight sucked. I mean, they both them dudes suck. Don't lie.
oh, I didn't watch it. Don't worry, I didn't even watch it. But I did hear you say though, you said you love about the belt era is that niggas get participation trophies. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, I said bum ass niggas like Lamont Roach could lose to a slightly less bum dude that we just gotta not admit he's a bum because he's a Marine. He could lose to a guy like that, but get off his bike, grind for 4 years and get tired. It's kind of like a cool story. I don't really like the 4-belt era, but that's one of the little things, that somebody could just keep grinding. It's like an incentive not to stop, kind of, is what I'm saying.
That's real. That's real. Obviously, I was joking with you. I mean, that's true. I mean, people won't get chances, and
Why your voice like that? Are you in space?
I don't know. I don't know what's up with the receptionist.
You sound like you in space.
How does space sound? Nigga, you ain't never been to space.
Oh, I don't know. It sound like you. It sound like you recorded an auto-tune record.
A record?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see?
like cutting in and out or something, man. I don't know what's going on with it this time.
Let me check. I'll be back.
Yeah. You sound like Plankton's wife.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on. You like off and on with this joint, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You might have to like come back in or something like that, or kind of like move around or something. But yo, man, yeah, that fight, man, it was like something. I don't know, man.
Well, congratulations to Lamont Roach, the new WBA champion. Congratulations to him.
I mean, he's he was the mandatory, so there ain't no rematch clause. So he's gonna have one of them, like voluntary defenses or whatever it is. If they could find somebody out there, man, I don't know. Maybe they could say Jordan White, who's another guy that's local. That's on, what I'm saying? YSM Sports, Jamil YSM Sports said he suggested maybe has something in DC with, Lamont Rose Jr. against Gary Russell Jr., man. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Gary Russell, I don't give a fuck how long he been out there. He beat the dog shit out of Lamont Roach, man. he pushes muffin cap back blue.
Oh man.
Yo, but you realize if Lamont Roach don't lose the title anytime soon, 2005, he's gonna be the sacrificial. Remember, I told you there was gonna be a filler fight in there. Whoever has the WBA title at 130 is gonna be the filler fight for Tank in 2005, leading into his super fight against Shakur.
What, 25?
Yeah, at 2025, they're gonna drag him up the same way they drag Hector Garcia. You're gonna beat the dog shit out of Roach in like 3 rounds.
I don't think, man, they wouldn't do that too.
It's gonna sell in DC. Put that shit in the Capital One in the arena. You got 2 local people.
Yeah, but the thing about it is they don't need anybody like Lamont Roach or something like that to put, a Tank fight in DC for it to sell out. You know what I'm saying?
It's an extra incentive, man. I think they do it. I think he's the filler fight, dog, because they can sell it as well. He's the WBA champ. At 130, he beat Hector Garcia more impressively than I did, blah, blah, blah. They can sell some nonsense like that. It's not true, but
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna, kind of like work out for Lamont Roach. I don't think that they're gonna make a Tank fight with Lamont Roach. That ain't gonna happen, man. I don't see that happening. And the thing for Hector Garcia, that puts him in the back of the line, man. That makes him a contender once again. I mean, he went up, he got the bag with Tank Davis. Now he goes back down and he has one of these fights against Lamont Roach and pretty much gets outboxed for a number of those rounds, even though one judge kind of like felt like he won
7 rounds. No, 8. Yeah, 7 rounds. I ain't see that. I thought he won 5.
I mean, maybe they felt like there wasn't that much action in some of these rounds, so they gave Garcia the benefit of the doubt or something like that, man. I mean, he didn't, according to CompuBox, he didn't land more than 9 punches in any round. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that motherfucker style is so white. I mean, bro, the only thing, the good thing about this year is all that hype shit they was pushing last year with the Dominican takeover. I'm glad all that shit came to an end, bro. It's over. Ain't nobody left. I'm just mad Michelle Rivera won on the undercard. I'm mad he won.
Yeah, he did. He beat
Lipinets, Sergey Lipinets.
And then he pretty much outboxed Lipinets. Lipinets was headhunting for the majority of that fight, and he wasn't really effective in any of them joints, man.
You know what I hate? The fact that he beat, Sergey Lipinet is a guy that people overrate because he had good losses, so people overrate him. So now because Michelle Rivera won, now we gotta go back to overrated Michelle Rivera, which trickled down to us. overrated the Frank Martin win. Nah, Michelle Rivera sucks. Any dude that does a performance enhancement drug, I mean, that has a banned substance in their system and lose 12-0 should be banned from the sport. You can't lose 12-0 if you have a banned substance in your system. That just can't happen. Like, what's the point?
Is he Dominican too? Just out of curiosity.
Yes. The fake Muhammad
okay.
Ali ass, fake Muhammad Ali. Yo, I'll tell you that Dominican stuff, because now I realize why the Charlos always be crying. Yo, he couldn't even get no words out last night, crying and shit. Like, why he's always crying, dog?
Oh my God, yo.
But yeah. Oh, but anyway, boxing academics seem like you back. So what you had to say about this the Hector Garcia Lamont Roach high level amateur fight?
I actually didn't watch it, so I trust whatever you say.
Yeah, it was a high level amateur fight, man. It was a high level. Yeah, let's go. What was the next fight on that? What was it?
That was the Matias versus Zergashev joint, man. Shout out to talk about, he's a Matias fanboy now. He's taking him versus everybody. Look, I mean, Matias kind of like, he had the slow start. He was having his high guard up while Ergashev was just throwing punches and throwing punches and throwing punches and, landing.
He hurt him. He hurt Matias.
He hurt Matias a little bit there in the first couple of rounds. And then after the third round, he didn't really do much of anything at all.
He ran out of gas.
Yeah, man. It's like he pretty much like shot his load in those first few rounds, man. I'm like, yo, like, come on, what, yo? I didn't understand that at all, bro. Like,
and then he tried to say my legs. His corner asked him, "Are you sure?" like 1,000 times. The referee like, "Are you sure?" Nobody could believe it. Like, yeah, my legs. I'm like, yo, he quit.
I was like, man, he was getting beat up. He was getting beat up in the, the fourth and fifth rounds and all that type of stuff, man. He didn't really have much of a defense at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to Bruce Gass in the building. What's going on, Bruce Gass? Boxing, Jazz, and more here, man. Joining us live.
Oh,
yeah,
and
man.
He was too upright. Like, his back was completely too upright. He was too straight. He had hand speed. He had a little bit of movement, but he was too upright. And then as soon as he got a taste of any type of pressure, he folded, bro.
Yeah, man. He was getting pressed there in the corners and in the ropes, and he couldn't really move or anything like that, man. And he was just getting tagged up and beat up there for those first couple of rounds, yo. You know what I'm saying? The
winner of any program need to unify against that boy, man. I need to see that shit.
I don't know if Prograde is going to unify against
Matias.
Yeah, I think the winner of Haney versus Progress is going to fight Teofimo.
Yo, yeah, I think so too. But I wouldn't, man. That man, somebody need to fight. Somebody need to fight Matias. Like, hey, it look like my Haitian boy is gonna be the one who has to handle that problem, man.
Yeah, he's the next guy in line after Ergashev, because they don't have they don't have Antoine in the rankings. It looks like Antoine waiting for that shot at the WBC or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He's been calling out for Regis for a good little while, so he's been sticking out around there, in the WBC rankings. But
you could sell Haney versus Russell. You could sell Haney versus Russell. You could sell that.
Yeah, you probably could sell that too. You could sell that. You could sell that. But man, outside of that, man, I don't know who else would be able to, be in the ring there against Subio Matias. You got some folks out there, even talking about, Matias could move up and take on Boots Ennis and
come on, bro. Come on,
man.
Come on.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Come on, bro.
Like, folks is getting way ahead of themselves. Like, come on, man. Like,
let this guy build his little legacy here at 140 before we start saying like shit. Like, come on, man. Who said that? He needs to be shamed and slandered on a consistent basis.
So he said he need to be stoned.
Yeah,
So I'll share the joint, man. It was on Twitter, man. I'll send you the link, man.
yeah.
I'll send you the link
That's
because
an embarrassment.
yeah, that was just
I'm gonna give my thoughts on the fight if y'all don't mind.
yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
Like y'all said, the dude blew his wad in the first round or two, and I mean, if you would see a amateur fight and you would have saw him in an amateur fight, you'd have been like, man, this guy's unstoppable. Ain't no way that Super Matias would win this fight.
Yeah.
And I mean, at some point, I think he, like you said, he did hurt him, and it just looked like a tale of two different fights. And you know, you could tell after that first or second round. I think I sent something in the group while I asked JR. I'm like, is this dude, you know, like, has he blew his wad or something? You know, I just asked that question, and then you just really start seeing the tide turn to where he didn't have his hands up. He didn't know how to block shots. Like it's just like an offensive thing. Like it's this ain't Manny Pacquiao, but
Yeah,
this is not Manny Pacquiao, but it would be what people tried to play Manny Pacquiao to be. This ain't Manny Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao got better defense than that. But you know, Manny is more of an offensive fighter. And then round whatever came, and he was getting hit, he was getting touched. And the dude looked for a way out, and then they gave him a way out. And so say it again.
Give him a way out. He took it by. He grabbed that shit by the horn.
Oh yeah, he took his own way out. Now the only thing I will say is that Super Matias get hit too much, so it's only a matter of time before that shit catch up to him, and he either A, won't be able to recover from one of them shots, or B, somebody gonna, as the UK people say, spark him out, because he just get hit too clean and get hit too much, and it take him too long for his motor to just to like go.
I disagree. I think he was getting hit, but I don't think he gets hits a lot. I think he was getting hit on this fight because this dude was type big, like that. El Garcia, how much, whatever his name is, he was big, bro. Like that was a big 140-pound guy. You feel me? And he was ridiculously fast. So I think after round one, he made an adjustment, and his adjustment was like, because in round one, whatchamacallit was controlling the distance with his jab and speed. He was just controlling the distance and working, not letting this guy let Matias get anything off. So round two, Matias, the adjustment Matias did was, I'll just throw anything out there, just touch him. You feel me? Not even letting anything out, just touch him. That combined with the amount of activity whatchamacallit had gassed him out. So by the time he slowed down the slightest, he started walking him down. There was no more punches being thrown. There was nothing. He just started beating the shit out of him. I don't think he gets hits a lot. I think this was just a tall, fast dude that he had to get used to. And then if you heard him in the pre-fight, he said, I never fought a southpaw. It's probably going to take me 3-4 rounds to get used to it, which he was wrong. It only took him 1 round. But you feel me? Like, you feel me? So even if you listen to what he's saying, he was saying he never fought a southpaw. I mean, he hasn't fought many southpaw. He is expected to take a while. So this is really impressive to me. I think this guy is a bad motherfucker. I'm not really a dude who's big on the high guard guys, you feel? But this guy's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, he uses that high guard in order to get within range of his opponent and then just, you know, make sure all of his punches count.
All them shit count.
That's what he was doing here against Sergachev. So he kind of like keeps his, you know, KO ratio. That's like, you know, over, you know, it's there at 100%, 20 wins, 20 knockouts. Man.
Yeah, that shit.
My only thing is that Cuban style of keeping your hands up and countering with them wide shots, like that sort of style, yeah, it's good against a lot of guys. But then once you get to the upper echelon, does that really beat the top guys? Like, what's the jawbreaker? What's his name? They used to sort of fight like that, hands up. Well, Rigo, you know, slowed down. Let me say that. Rigo slowed down. He wasn't always like that.
Man, Rigo was old when he was a professional. Rigo was old when he first started. He started out like 56 years old. When his first fight, he was already 56.
I mean, and the thing about it is, man, you got Matias here at the 140 division, and you know, we kind of like name those guys that are, you know, out there right now. Like you got, you know, Richardson Hitchens. That's
a good fight because he has the range.
He has the range at the boxing style that could, you know, see if
Yeah.
he'll be able to go around.
Oh, JR,
Uh,
can I cut you off 1 second and say something?
Go ahead.
Okay, so since you just reminded me that it's the 140 division, I take back everything I just said. Maybe he will have a long, prosperous reigns in the 140-pound division.
Because I think him and Prograis 50-50. I think him and Haney is 50-50 just because in the second half of the fights, no matter who Haney fights, it seems like the range just shrank. You feel me? Like his last couple of fights that's been high level championship fights, the range just have a way of magically shrinking on him after 6 rounds. And he just did to be more hittable. So I don't know against a guy like Matthias. You feel me? I still say it's a 50-50 because if he doesn't get knocked down, he might just bank enough rounds, but it's gonna get ugly eventually. Same thing with Prograis. Like Prograis are like dog. Man, there's not a bro. I feel bad for Prograis because Prograis is a really, 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 really intelligent fighter, dog. Like for a guy who didn't have no amateur career, who basically learned on the job, dog. Like this guy's a really intelligent fighter that people don't appreciate. But I think Prograis can outsmart him and beat him or possibly knock him out. But I also see Matthias could probably force a fight. You feel me? A firefight, and it's just who lands the first bomb and shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I'm not sure if Regis Prograis will have something that will hurt Subriel Matias like that, though.
Yeah, I mean, but you see, with the thing with Richardson, with Hitchens, I think with the thing with Hitchens, I feel like Hitchens does not give a fuck if he hear boo birds.
He's just there to fight his fight. He don't care, what folks think about it. He's just
Nigga, if I have to keep this fight at a 21 punch around pace and land 4 jabs to win the round, I would do that. I'll get booed out the building and do that. I feel like he's capable of doing that against Matthias. I feel like he can do that. It'll be the worst fight you ever fucking seen. And I think he can pull it off with all the boo birds coming.
He's like, if it's a win, it's a win, man. He don't really care. You know what I'm saying? He
Right,
don't care.
fuck. Yeah, you don't give a fuck.
Will that be enough to like keep Matthias off of him? That's the thing about it.
He's so rangy. He's so rangy though. Like,
but it seems like a whole lot of people are like buying into Subriel Matias, man. There at 140, but like, is he like somebody that, like you said, could be number one at 140? Yeah, there could be 50-50 fights against someone like a Haney or Prograis or something like that. But like, what would he fare against like a Teofimo Lopez or
that fight could look depending on Teo's durability. If Teo has the durability, that fight could end up looking like fucking James Toney, Vasily Jirov with Teo and James Toney. If his durability holds up, if his durability don't holds up, it look like Andrade versus Benavidez.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I gotta see how that looks because Teo, had his fight there against Josh Taylor, but that's just it. He only had that one fight, and he hasn't had a fight since. And I'm going to talk about him, later on as far as like what could be next for him in 2024. But he, kind of like is like unknown or whatever it is, man. So yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. I just, man, this thing is like up in the air as far as like what's gonna happen there in 140, coming up to next year. I mean, there's potential, great bouts that could be set up. It's just, I just gotta wait to see what comes out of this thing here with Haney versus Prograis, man. Everybody's waiting for that. You know what I mean?
Fact.
So there's that, man, and then so now moving ahead to that next bout.
Charlo.
You got Jamal Charlo back, coming in at 166.5 pounds in a 163 catch weight bout against Jose Benavidez Jr., man. I didn't really like this fight
Me neither.
because it was like Jose Benavidez was on there, and it's like, yeah, you want to add him onto the card with his brother, but you're gonna have Jamal Charlo come back, and I'm like, if Jamal Charlo was like any bit of what he was, then he
destroys him.
to be much of a shot for Jose Benavidez to beat him. And there were like folks talking about, before the fight when they had the weigh-in, and they were talking about, oh, you have Jamal Charlo coming in there at 166 and saying, oh man, watch out for the upset, watch out for the upset. I'm like, come on, man. I just couldn't see it. I mean, I know
he obviously did the weight on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he pretty much did the weight on purpose, And the thing about it is that they just, said, you know what, we'll pay, Jose, extra amount of money.
$75,000 per pound.
And that ain't that much, man. Like, I mean, what is
how many pounds was it? 3 pounds?
Yeah, 3 pounds. So $225K, man. Like, that ain't much of nothing unless if they say they paid Charlo, probably over. If you paid him over $1 million, then it's like okay, $225K.
But what did you feel about Charlo's performance overall? Is he back in your opinion?
I wouldn't say he's completely back, but from an offensive perspective, you can see the elements of him still having that type of skill because, I kind of like said, for some years, I felt like Jamal Charlo was the more skilled Charlo of the two brothers.
Yeah, that's true. The other one just more accomplished. It's like the Klitschko effect.
And the crazy thing is how waves go, because at some point when you say that, when we was having that conversation, people was like, nah, what you talking about, the accolades, this, all of that. And this is like, are you sure him fighting this guy and was it Ficken Butts that he fought or that big white boy that he fought that was a it was a durable sort of test, but he got through it. Deverenchenko, yeah. So that was when Deverenchenko was like durable before he like broke down. But I'm just like, are y'all sure that the other twin got the skills? Because this one showing improving now, and the other one obviously was too. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I agree with you, JR.
Yeah, and the thing was like you had those fights for Jamal Charlo. Well, first against Tony Harrison, and then even in the rematch against Tony Harrison, like he was kind of like losing that bout for a good little while before Tony Harrison got knocked down one time, and then even after that, Tony Harrison was still
beating his ass,
and then still was able to what I'm saying, still get the win for Jamal Charlo. So it was like, what I'm saying, I just felt like Jamal was just like the more complete fighter out of the two. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you really didn't see much there from Jamal until his second fight against Castaño. That's why I felt like he was like, the best. That's the best that he's ever performed there. So
and his defense, Charlo's defense was in the basement. This shit was fucking ass, man. He was getting hit way too much, bro. Yeah, I still had him winning 9-1, but I had him winning 9 rounds to 1. But it was like, I think
he was tagged up, yeah. But sometimes he kind of like uses that in order to try to work on his defense and do a catch and shoot, because he's done a thing where he does catch and counter, catch and shoot. That's how he was able to knock out
J-Rock.
Yeah, yes. He tried that a few times. I
think he needs another tune-up before he avenges getting smacked by the white boy. He needs one more fight, one more tune-up.
What white boy? What white boy?
You know what he said? He said the smack from the white boy.
He mean Canelo? He trying to say Canelo?
No. The white boy who put hands on him.
The one that was in the
Caleb Plant. Plant. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think he needs one more fight before he jumps in there with and avenges that smack.
We'll see how they sort things out with what goes on in 2024. But we got Tip Bayless in the building with us, man, live. Yo, what's happening there, Tip?
Yo, what's going on, yeah?
You're Saturday.
Shit, great night of boxing yesterday, man. From start to finish, actually. I like
from start to finish.
Yeah, that card was fire.
From start to finish.
What was wrong with it?
The first fight.
He got problems with Dominican people. So let's throw that in there.
What was the first fight again? Hold on. What was the first fight again?
Lamont,
versus
the joke roach versus the garbage. Both of them suck. Both of them
Come
guys
on, bro.
suck.
You hating. You just hating now, bro.
Both the guys suck, man.
Like your hate is off the charts.
They suck.
Go on, man.
Nah, but I think everybody was disappointed at Hector. Like I picked Hector Luis Garcia to win that fight. I don't think anybody expected him to come out and fight the way he did, though. I don't
What's
think anybody.
difference? He fought any differently than he always fought?
Nah, he was gun shy. He was gun shy.
He sucks.
You could tell he was gun shy because usually he let his hands go, but he ain't want to let his hands go at all.
I probably should have put down a little bit on Lamont Roach to win that fight, man. Because that would have been, that would have been a plus, especially if it was part of a parlay. Man, shoot. Man.
Well, I mean, if you looking at it, it's always going to be one upset on a card, right? And you got to figure out what the upset's going to be.
What the upset's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I'm really looking at that card, I'm like, shit, it's either Ergashev and Matias or it's Hector and Lamont. And you know what I'm saying? I played it safe. I ain't even take a bet on the fights, but I'm like, damn.
Who was the betting favorite in the Ergashev fight?
Matias
was.
Oh, okay.
That nigga quit. That nigga said my legs. Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I had Charlo winning 9 rounds to 1, but that wasn't like I'm not, that he's a better fighter than that.
I mean, it was a tune-up.
Yeah, I think he needs another tune-up. You know how Award had 2 tune-ups before he got in there with Kovalev? That's what he needs. He needs another one before he get in there and avenge himself for getting smacked by Mac Miller.
But Jose is, you could tell he's a fighter. He know how to fight.
Yeah.
He ain't at the top level of beating those exceptional guys, but he know how to fight though. So
that's long time. He was a great fighter when he had mobility. He was a great fighter. But now that he got a gun wound in his fucking legs, he's an average fighter. Because the style that he fights in, that's not his natural style. You feel me? He's average, bro.
You can tell he can't move that front leg.
Yeah. Because before he used to move around, now he fights in the style more so of the way his brother. When his brother fights that style, sometimes I don't like that style. So that's how he fights now consistently, and that's not your shit, dog. You was better when you was moving around and shit.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of like seen that in a lot of his fights, man, where he just was like standing around or whatnot. I'm like, that ain't gonna work well for you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's got that metal rod. You got to remember that he got to replace it with a metal rod.
Yeah. All he does is get hit once, dodge the other punch, and adjust his trunks, rinse and repeat.
Oh, he swing now. He swing. He always throws something back.
But he threw some. That's what I'm saying. Charlo's defense was fucking garbage. You feel me? The only good thing I liked about the fight was the fact that even though Benavidez doesn't belong in this weight class, and even though he has mobility, I do like the fact that they did put him in they gave him a tune-up that was a dog, somebody who's not gonna lay down, somebody who's gonna fucking have moments when they got a little couple of tricks to get some punches in. You feel me? That's the only thing you appreciate. But I do think he needs another tune-up before he fights Killer Plant, because if he doesn't fight Killer Plant, he has to get full citizenship back to Dominican Republic.
That dude is tough as shit. Jose is tough as shit.
Oh man, come on. Hey, what man? Where? But who are they gonna put in there for him, man? Like, are they they're gonna put what is it like? Beck the Bully? They ain't gonna have him fight Beck the Bully or nobody.
No,
like
Shishkin. Shishkin, man.
Yeah, Shishkin. It could be Shishkin. But the thing with Shishkin is he's supposed to have that fight with the for the IBF eliminator though.
Oh, he is, and what is he's ranked like 3?
He's ranked 2.
Oh, 2. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so they ain't gonna move him off that. Once he gets that fight in, they ain't gonna move him off that. So it can't be Vladimir Shishkin, man. That's why I said like they gotta find some other
Man,
fights.
fuck it. You know what? Give him the tune up everybody has. Give him Gabe Rosado, man. Just
They
call
go.
up Gabe Rosado. Just sharpen up the
Yeah,
tune.
call up Gabe Rosado, give him some money. He'll work him. You know what I'm saying?
Gabe said
Or
he'll make it to the final bell on that one.
you want to fight Berlanga or something like that?
That's not happening. What about a Derevyanchenko rematch? Derevyanchenko is ranked number 9 by the WBC.
Nah. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
Nah, they ain't gonna
He
have.
damaged goods at this point. Devenchenko damaged goods.
Like I said, they're probably gonna have him fighting back to Bully, man. You know what I'm saying?
And you think that's a good fight right now for him? Back to Bully?
I think so.
Why?
Beck stepping stone anyway, so I mean, why not?
You're right, but I think they
he's not
looking
a
to
stepping
rebuild
stone,
back.
but the thing about it is I think it would make for a good fight. I would say that.
Well, you think Charlo's going back to 160?
Nah, I think
No, he gonna move up.
Yo, that's what I'm
If he
saying.
ain't a stepping stone, then what is he, JR?
He is a valid opponent, man. He's what? Where did they have him at in the rankings? Beck is at number 6 in the WBA, number 13 in the WBC, number 7 in the WBO. So they got him out there as a contender, man.
But where he at in the WBC though, dog? That's the important one.
Oh, they got him at 13.
You sure?
Damn.
I thought 13 is Ivan Zuko.
Unless if they like recently updated it, they probably. I don't know
you can give him a John Ryder, man. Give him a John
Yeah,
Ryder.
that makes sense. John Ryder is number 12. That makes sense.
Well, that would mean that Jaime Munguia has been fighting John Ryder.
Oh, facts. I forgot. I forgot about that.
Oh
Yeah,
shit. Akhmadov?
Maybe Akhmadov. Maybe. Shoot, man, I forgot.
Jerry Munguia, dog. Man, let's talk about.
Oh shit. William Skull.
No, we said he fighting Shishkin, man.
Man, I feel bad for Boo Boo, man. Even though I picked Benavidez to win this fight, and I picked him by either a close decision or late stoppage, I feel bad for Boo because, damn, dog, this nigga had 15 years of niggas just ducking him, and his first opportunity is a damn near unwinnable fight. So it's basically like he never got retribution. He never got the chance to show the world how good he actually is. But that Rock Nation shit, man.
Inactivity played a part in this too, bro.
Yeah.
Like him just fighting in January and not fighting a whole year prior to that.
In a position where he's there as like I said like a middleweight versus a light heavyweight in David Benavidez.
Yeah.
David Benavidez was not affected by any of those shots that Demetrius Andrade was throwing at him. This was kind of like what you seen there with Matias and Ergashev. It almost looked like,
Hey Zoe.
Yo, yeah.
Am I still putting too much weight on somebody power? Am I putting too much
Yeah.
putting too much emphasis on someone's power and size?
Yeah.
Am I still putting too much emphasis on that?
Power, yeah. Yo,
Nigga, that's what won the fight. He was too big for him.
Nigga, he had to land, bro. He had to get in position.
He did land sometime. He landed, and that shit didn't do anything.
I'm talking about Benavidez still got land. I don't think you give Benavidez like the way he's able to use broken rhythm to fucking like always to broken rhythm so he could never get a beat of his punches, though. That's high skill. That's high level skill shit. You feel me? That's high level skill shit.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this. David was punching harder than I've ever seen him punch before. Like when he threw that overhand, like he threw an overhand, I think in like round 1 or 2, early on in the fight. And I was like, damn, I ain't never seen him throw a punch like that. Like
he was breaking through the guard.
A couple of punches, like I think it was like one punch he threw early, and it was like it missed, but it was like if he landed, that would have been like sick, It was like he looked like he was really out there to like try to hurt Andrade or something like that.
But I thought that Andrade coming in at like, cause I think you feel me. Ever since what fight it was, I feel like ever since Benavidez fought I forgot. It was like is it the Lemieux fight? I think started with the Lemieux fight. Like I feel like Benavidez stopped boxing. You feel me? He stopped boxing. He became too reliant on the pressure. He didn't box as much as I saw him earlier when I first seen him.
Is it that one or the fight against Ellis? I probably got to see the Ellis fight.
Oh,
again.
I think it's I don't know, but I think starting with one of those fights.
I knew it was like the Kyron Davis one because Kyron, he was competing in that particular fight, but like Benavidez was just too big in that one too. Like Kyron
As a matter of fact, he done fought Kyron, Caleb, and Boo Boo the same way.
Nah, I felt like against Boo Boo, he went back to more nuanced boxing. He was more doing it wasn't just complete front with pressure. You feel me? It's like he was cruel when he had to. The punches he would throw wide punches on purpose to cut off exit angles. You feel me? I felt like it was better than how he fought Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, he didn't start throwing combinations against Plant until after round 6. He was trying to throw one punch and just try to, be menacing and wear him down with mental pressure and try to wear, which it'll end up working. But I feel like the last couple of fights, that's what he's been dependent on. That's why I thought this fight might have been a lot closer because if he did that shit with Boo Boo, Boo Boo would have just utilized lateral movement like he was doing in the first 3 rounds and catch him coming in. And every time he got lazy behind the inactive guard, he was gonna find holes in it like he was doing in the first 3 rounds. But then Benavidez went more to boxing. He went more to pressure boxing, combination punches, wide punches that cut off exit route. Like, bro, this version of Benavidez has me. I'm rethinking this whole David Morrell shit again. This is like my 10th time I've rethought this David Morrell shit. Now I'm rethinking it again. Because he stopped doing this. This is what made me thought Benavidez was a bad nigga. Not him being big and the pressure was his boxing ability. And he left that shit on the wayside for a couple fights and he brought it back. So now, man, strap up anybody.
Between Morrell and the rest of them, Morrell has the power to keep him off. And that's going to be a huge factor if they get into the ring.
That's going to be the thing.
That's going to be a bigger fight down. I think that's a 175 fight. I don't think that fight's going to happen at 68. Definitely.
And to your point, that's the biggest thing that didn't bode well for Andre. That his power wasn't effective against David.
Right.
Now,
Morrell too is like he's around the same height and got a longer reach too, so he got long arms there. But
I think I think Boo Boo blew his load too early, man. Like he should have.
Yeah.
That too.
Managed.
He got wind problems.
More.
No, you gotta realize he came in at 190 pounds with the game plan that they was gonna bully David Benavidez. This was actually reported
early. He was.
But
he looked good early.
He looked good, like because he would get inside. He was mauling him. He was actually moving him around. But
he hit him with some Matador shit too. Yeah, it was like I was like, all right, Andre.
Yeah, but you gotta realize that's just like Wilder unnaturally putting weight, and that's not your fighting weight. You're gonna gas out early. That's what happened.
But yeah, that's going into my point. Like you know what I'm saying? He blew his load early. Like, but if you're doing the game plan like that, like you gotta at least you gotta make it boring the first couple of rounds. I'm sorry. You gotta make it boring. You just gotta touch him here and there, you know what I'm saying? And just work your way through the fight.
I think a 31-year-old Boo Boo, I'm not saying he wins. I still think he either loses or gets stopped late. But it's that what you saw the first 3 rounds would extend it for about 7 or 8 rounds until it changed. Yeah, that's what I think would have happened. It would have extended. You feel me? He would have been more acclimated to the weight, all that shit. You feel me?
You could tell in the early rounds he was definitely going to do better than Caleb Plant. He was pushing him backwards. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we've never seen David go backwards like that. You know what I'm saying?
Plant was like he almost did like a jab and grab type of thing. He was trying to limit the offense or limit David Benavidez from trying to get off any type of punches. You know what I'm saying?
Benavidez was helping him out. With that dumbass game plan.
And he wasn't cutting the ring off either. He wasn't cutting the ring off
at all.
You're right. He did better. He did a lot better with cutting the ring off. But what's his name? Wasn't like, if I remember correctly, he wasn't moving. I didn't notice anything about his movement that I felt like he could have kept him like I ain't gonna say running, but he could have kept away from him the whole time. I didn't get that from him.
Now you see, when Benavidez fought Caleb Plant, it took him a while to warm up and start fighting in the clinch. Like when he'll hold him, it took him a while. Like he was doing that shit after round 3, after getting tossed around by Boo Boo for 2 or 3 rounds. After that, every time Boo got inside they held, he found ways to get shots in. You feel me? And that's when the shit we start changing this tide on that fight.
Like,
He broke him down in 1 round. Like everything, the downfall of Boo Boo, I had Boo Boo up like 3 rounds to nothing. Round 4, he literally broke him down in round 4. I'm watching. I'm like, yo, he just gave this nigga 7 rounds of beatings in 1 round, bro. I'm like, yo.
Was that when he leaned back and then he caught him
3.
with that shot over the top of his hand?
Yeah, man. That's when he broke his guard. That's when he broke his guard and still hurt him by breaking through his fucking double shield. I'm like, God damn.
I thought it changed in round 3. I thought round 3 is when it.
Yeah, pretty much like around 3. It kind of like was changing at the end of round 3.
At the end, that momentum changed. It definitely did.
Right? It was crazy because you had Demetrius Andrade and he had a good combination where he started the combination with an uppercut. He started landing with the uppercut, like went down and went up and then went down 2 more times. And I thought, man, he's trying to get things going. But like I said, I mean, he wasn't able to really phase David Benavidez all too tough, man.
I'll tell you this: when you go back and watch the fight again, this is where it really changed. In the first round, Boo Boo went to his corner and he stood up. He didn't sit on the stool. I think the following round, you could tell like he was breathing different because he sat on that stool. Usually, if you could stand up in the corner, you're not gonna sit and you're not gonna stand. You're not gonna sit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he went and sat on that stool. I was like, oh yeah, it's about to change. The fight definitely about to change.
Man, Benavidez is gonna fucking beat the fuck out of Canelo. I need this bad. I need this.
I think the Canelo fight gonna be tough for him, bro.
Man, this shit gonna be on one-sided. Man, you tripping?
Nah, Canelo can hit though. Canelo can hit though.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Yo, I have yet. If you guys have an example thought around me, I have yet. This is the shit that I see Canelo struggle with. I always see Canelo struggle against a good jab. Guys who have broken rhythm, like Floyd was catching him just by being offbeat all night with the broken rhythm. Benavidez, dare I say, might be better with using broken rhythm than fucking Floyd. He's gonna catch him, and it's more activity. That's another thing he struggles with. He struggles with activity. And you guys talk about he can punch. Cool. I don't believe his punch is gonna do anything to Benavidez. I think there's gonna be a same shit as Bivol. Benavidez is bigger than Bivol. I think he's gonna walk through them shit. The high guard, you're gonna put the high guard, you're gonna walk through the shit. The activity is gonna fucking kill Canelo. By round 9 and 10, it's gonna be a matter of how much heart does Canelo have.
I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo versus Benavidez ends in a controversial decision.
Man, if it ends up in a controversial decision, man, I think it's gonna be a bad one-sided fucking ass whooping, but it's gonna be worse than fucking Bivol was. Man.
It'll be one of those moments where boxing got it wrong again. So it'll be one of those.
I think it's gonna be one of those fights where the scorecards come up 115 twice for Benavidez, 116 once for Benavidez, but in all reality, it was 119, 109. That's the most I'm willing to give you. It's gonna be just like the Bivol fight. It's gonna be just like the Bivol fight. Bivol beat that nigga 11.
113.
Yeah, Bivol beat that nigga 115, 113. Bivol beat that nigga 11 rounds to 1, and somehow that shit came up 116, 112 twice. You feel me? But we all know what happened. It wasn't a competitive fight.
Hey, yo, we got Terrell in the building. He's been listening in for a good little minute, man. He's joining in here with this podcast, man. And thanks for joining in here with us, man. What do you think about Benavidez and him beating up Andrade for 6 rounds, man?
Well, as we already know that this is Andrade's first pay-per-view fight. We know that his first true big fight, and to say that I'm overwhelmed and at his performance, first of all, hats off to Benavidez, monster. We already know that his offense is his defense. That continues to be his story and his narrative. We know that he definitely displayed that again last night. But even with Benavidez, the best thing I saw about him, he looked in better shape. He had more muscle tone on his body. That means he's only getting better, and that's scary. That's scary business for Charlo, Canelo, or whoever. The only I think the only aside from who beats, I don't even want to think about it. I want to just make sure I can do this flowers first. he just, like you guys said, he just ripped up from the first round. The jab was on point, pow, and we know nice little soft jab. It was like pop and jab. And at that point, you saw Andre was on the defensive from the first bell. I didn't like his low stance. I mean, dude, y'all virtually the same size. Why are you stooping low? I didn't get that. We know he was a southpaw, so it's also a battle for to get whose foot on the outside. But at that point, it was more or less Benavidez just imposed his will on Andre the entire fight. And it was a beatdown, like you guys said. And like at that point, there's even on some of the exchanges, we know that Benavidez won those. And I think he even hurt Andre early. I forget what's wrong, but he definitely hurt him early. And that point where Andre had to hold on. And I still had hope for Andre, so maybe he'd get him here and somehow hurt him or something like that. But he virtually had nothing for Benavidez. That's what we saw.
Wait.
He landed his last little hurrah in whatever round it was, and he like threw a combo, and a couple of them landed, and what's the name was just standing there like it was one of them Rocky movies. And then at that point, I mean, I appreciate his corner for saying, "Hey, we kind of understand what this is. There's really no reason for him to come out, again, because at that point it would have got really bad."
That's not what happened. Andrade quit. He said, "I'm done."
He said, "I'm done."
He said, "I'm done."
Okay, well, smart man then.
Before-
When you're at, hey,
Yeah.
sometimes you take an ass whipping. You gotta say, "I'll fight you next time."
Hey, sometimes you say, you know what, I'm thinking about my career. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of quitting when you up, my nigga. I'm just not a fan of that.
But that's different than quitting. Like, okay, let me see if I can let me see if I can justify this. I feel it's different than the other guy. I feel it's different than the other guy. I don't know how I'm gonna rationalize it, but I feel like it's different.
I mean, the thing about it is like he kind of like knew no matter what he did, it wasn't gonna do much of nothing.
It reminds me of Cal Brook. It reminds me of Cal Brook versus Triple G. First sign of trouble, get me out of there.
Well, you saying for that first fight? I'm saying for this fight, he had taken enough punishment.
No, listen. Like I said, I'm not a fan of quitting when you're up, my dude. I'm just not a fan of that, dog. You feel me? I'm not a fan when Roger did it. I'm not a fan of that shit. Like you won the first 3 rounds. Yes, you feel me? Like get a second win, be a champion, get a second win, and go back to what you was doing the first 3 rounds and make it a fight, my nigga. You feel me? You quit.
I gave one of the rounds too. What's the name though?
Man, the thing about it was, man, like after you had like the 4th and 5th round, like even after the 4th round, where I mean, Benavidez landed that right, and he pretty much landed it, around the guard. Well, it wasn't around the guard. Like pretty much, Andre had his left-handed, like pretty much close to his ear, or whatever it is, and
he broke through his guard
chin and still landed kind of flush, and then just. Andre was stumbling, man. So it was like, he didn't really have much of a shot after that, man.
I really believe 190 was too much. Like 170, 175 ish, so you could keep your legs and move. That whole I'm gonna go wrestle with them and I'm gonna bully him mentality was whoever came up with that at the when y'all was in the room coming up with the game plan needs to be fired. That was stupid. This guy.
He was there with Snacky. What was it? You had Andre Rozier. You had
fire all of them niggas. Fire all of them niggas.
You had, of course, the Snack guy. We was working with Snack for this. Of course, his father Paul Andrade had a couple words in there. With what's going on, but I mean that whole thing just didn't work out for him, man. He was just like after
he got tired too quick.
Don't he always get tired too quick though? Is that something that we didn't already know?
When? Like I don't remember Andrade for getting tired.
I haven't watched a lot of his fights, but the fights that I have seen, I've seen him be tired in fights.
I never see him get tired. I see him be like be boring. He gets bored and start trying dumb shit. You feel me? I see that shit. You feel me? But tired? Nah. I see him get That's him in second half of fights when he's winning. He start doing some stupid shit and he might lose his balance and fall because he's too trying to prove a point. I'll be
Cause he's
saying
too
that shit.
tired.
No,
Too tired.
he be trying to fuck. He's bored, nigga. He's fucking bored. This nigga be trying to do Superman punches and weird shit. He be fucking bored. He's fighting a fucking chump because nobody real. You know, we all know the little chump. We all know Big Charlo what happened with the Rock Nation shit. But the other Charlo didn't want to fight him. That's just whatever. Canelo had 2 opportunities. Canelo didn't want to fight him. Laura pulled out of 2 fucking different negotiations. Billy Ho fucking did not want to fight him. You feel me? That's like, it is what it is. And I feel bad for him because he had to fucking fight all these bum ass niggas. And when you first get a chance to fight somebody, it's this fucking monster, nigga. So now if he was gonna look at you like you just was some bum killer, dog, you feel me? Nobody gonna appreciate the skills you brought to the table. That's unfortunate.
I mean, if they saw the first 2-3 rounds and they know the man is skillful, but
Nobody talking
like
about that. Didn't you hear what the other dude just said? The other dude that just came in here, he just said he just painted a story that Boo Boo got beat from round 1 down. That's the story he just painted. And I see that a lot of stories like that being painted all over social media. Not a lot of people is appreciating Boo Boo.
but if you what's gonna be lasting in your mind is that ass whipping.
Yeah.
Because after the first 2-3 rounds, third round, it was just like I started feeling bad for him, you know, like
Yeah,
that's
nobody remember that Jermaine Taylor was whooping Carl Froch's ass all night.
Yep.
Nobody remembers that shit.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute. Ron Boy said that? Man, that guy's an idiot.
Yeah, there was never
Mo, that guy's an idiot. Mo,
Hey, I
Slim,
told you.
that guy's an
told
idiot.
you.
Slim, you feel me? That guy.
No. He said that Super Matias could beat Boots at 147.
He hates PBC. That's what it is. He has
Yeah,
such a
he tripped.
hatred.
I ain't gonna hold you. Sabril too small, man.
He too small, bro. He way too small, yo. That I'm like, come on, man. You said Super Matias could beat. He's saying, oh, he could beat everybody there at 140 and then go up to 147 and beat Boots.
You know
Like,
what he said? You know what he told me once? You know what he told me once? Him and Ring IQ, because they so dumb, they hate PBC so much, they just say stupid shit. Them niggas said when Terrence Crawford decided to fight Misha and shit, and they was talking about Errol Spence fighting what's his name? What's the nigga name? Keith Thurman. They really were trying to say, yo, if you really break it down, Misha Evidencia is better than Keith Thurman. I'm like,
Well, they drunk as hell.
get the fuck out of here, man.
Yo, people hate Keith, bro.
They're like, what's the last person Keith Thurman knocked out? I said, I don't give a fuck who's the last person he knocked out. Who did Evidencia beat of note? Except for what was left of Shane Mosley.
Ever in life, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Shane Mosley was like, what did he say in Coming to America? He put
66 years old.
I don't even think the Shane Mosley win was his best. His best win was probably Josh Kelly.
What they saying Coming to America?
Yeah.
Josh Kelly would have been having easy.
Yeah, Josh Kelly. Yeah, that Josh Kelly win. Because remember, they tried to have Josh Kelly versus Conor Ben, and Josh Kelly lost to Evanesian, man. So yeah, that's probably was best win there. But yo,
what they saying Coming to America?
He's
What they saying
150 years old.
They said that is Coming to America.
Remember when he said when he said when they were talking
Rocky Joe Lewis's ass.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I remember. All right. Thank you. Sorry. I had a moment. My bad. I'm gonna go on mute.
Yeah, man. But man, like overall, man, I feel like I don't know. I feel like Canelo is really gonna go that Jamie Munguia route because there's no pressure on him to fight. Like Suleiman's not gonna put no pressure to honor the WBC obligation. He's not gonna put no pressure. The fans not gonna put no pressure. I think he's gonna go fight Jamie Munguia.
But the thing about it is, the fans are gonna put the pressure on him. The WBC is gonna put the pressure on him. But Canelo's not really gonna care. Because I mean, I said this yesterday, immediately after the fight with David Benavidez. You had David Benavidez talking about, folks want to see the fight Canelo versus David Benavidez. You had this promoter there, shout out to Samson Lukowicz, giving this case out. But this is no different than when Canelo Alvarez was at 160 and he had the WBC title. and they ordered him to fight Gennady Golovkin. And he said, "Man, I don't go about
Wasn't
no
no, but the title he vacated was the WBA.
No, he vacated the WBC at that time.
It wasn't the WBA, bro. He took from Cotto. Oh no,
it was
you're right. It was the WBC. You're right.
Because it was supposed to be Cotto to face Golovkin.
You're right. But here's my rebuttal. Here's why I don't think the WBC can put any pressure on him. Benavidez, the first time he got stripped. What was it for?
Drugs.
And he was even stripped. He was made champion in recess, right?
Mm-hmm. So
right?
What was that? Way back?
Yeah, he was made champion in recess, and he was ordered when he came back. He was to get first dib at the title shot. The first time he got stripped, quote unquote stripped, it was for a crime. He actually did a felony. He sniffed he did drugs. That's an actual felony. And they still put him champion in recess and said, "Don't worry." Suleiman said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna put you in recess. When you come back, you get first dibs at Durrell." The second time, it's just for missing weight. It's not even a crime. This time they strip him completely and never give him a shot. You know why? Because Canelo has the belt. It's not no pressure. They in cahoots.
Well, quick question. So with the way Benavidez looked last night, obviously we know Canelo can't watch that fight. Would Benavidez beat Canelo worse than Bivol did?
Yes.
So how reluctant would it be to sign up for that?
Huh?
So how reluctant would it be to? Would he like, fuck that shit? I ain't signing.
He's not doing it. He's not signing it, dog.
Too, like it won't even matter who he fights. He's still going to get the same guarantee, pretty much off rip.
Yeah. That man don't.
So that's why Zoe talking about Canelo fighting Jaime Munguia, and I said yesterday he better not fight no Jaime Munguia, man. I'd rather see him fight Jamal Charlo than fighting Jaime Munguia, man. Like, come on, man.
Well,
like,
they've been putting him on easy fights to make that money for him, and at this point they might as well cash him out for that.
Yeah, they might as well. Man, y'all gonna be mad when y'all see Canelo go back to back Munguia and then follow that Munguia one with a one against David Berlanga. Y'all gonna be mad as hell.
Nah. If he was gonna do that, then he might as well should have stayed with Matchroom, man.
Man, I hope because the Benavidez fight should be easy to make. Y'all both PBC fighters, bro. That shit should be 1, 2, 3.
I mean, yeah, but I mean that's the thing is like it should be, but they doing it. And remember, they tried to do it before. And what did Canelo do? He went out and signed and had the Golovkin fight, and then had the joint with John Ryder or whatever it was. So it was like with all that.
You know the way that Canelo fights him, what he definitely probably puts in place? A rehydration clause.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, he probably does. But you know what? I don't think that shit matters, man. I think, man, he picks him apart from mid-range. He just picks him apart from mid-range all night, man. You just beat the fucks out of him from mid-range, dog.
But
I don't think Canelo's gonna mount.
That's the thing that my guy Greg Scales was talking about yesterday. He said, man, like Benavidez is too big, man. And the thing with Canelo is he ain't really moving on too much. So I don't think that he would like Benavidez would have to do much in order to try to get Canelo in range or for him to move around that much. So it's not like he has to move around back and forth like Bivol did. He just has to be the bigger dude and just keep throwing punches. Like the thing is, like Canelo ain't gonna be able to slip and counter every one of them punches, man. He's gonna have some issues. So I think Canelo, like maybe he does kind of consider what's going on here and says, you know what? That's gonna be my last fight on the deal.
Man, Canelo might look at that shit and say, man, he might duck that shit and get 2 easy fights, left on his PBC deal, go back to the zone, fight Bivol, and lose with a built-in excuse that he tried to be great without ever fighting Benavidez. I think that's what's gonna happen, more likely to happen, bro.
Hey yo, man. Yeah, that's something. But yeah, yo, shout out to Sly in the building here who was on yesterday when I was right after that. He said, yeah, like Andrade was heavier in the weigh-in than David was. You know, respect to El Bandera Roja. You know, it was about half a pound. You know, Andrade was at 167 and a half, but if he rehydrated up to like 190 or something, then that still wouldn't have mattered because he would have had those mobility issues.
Yeah.
First couple of rounds. So it looked like, after, round 2 and 3, he couldn't really move. It was like you kind of seen it. Like his activity was just, like he was, what was it? Tip that said like after the first couple of rounds, he was like sitting down after standing up in those first 2.
Yeah.
So it was like he was already tired, man. He was already grabbing and holding. And it wasn't like an effective grab. It was almost like a reactive grab.
Yeah. Like
to get
the first 2.5 rounds, he did a better job when he grabbed up, actually like wrapping Benavidez up in a way Benavidez couldn't punch him while simultaneously creating little punching advantages for himself. You feel me, man?
And he was trying to move him too.
Yeah, from the back half of round 3.
He was like pushing him around. He was shifting him over, or he would like kind of have him in a position where he could throw punches, but Benavidez couldn't throw punches. So that was the thing on that, man. So I was he kind of like had a little bit of things going there in those first couple of rounds, but after those first 2, it was just like David's just a bigger man. He's just gonna walk forward and boom and do what he does.
I think Andre needs to come back early in that first quarter of next year, bro. While he still got time on the side, he got to get back quarter.
Now here's the thing with him, right? Would he come back against? Well, hey, what about this? What was it, Zoe? You were talking about the thing with Jamal Charlo earlier. What if Jamal Charlo faces Demetrius Andrade early?
He beat Charlo, man. I think don't get it fucked up. If your name is not Benavidez or if your name's not Morrell, this shit ain't no picnic, bro. If you're not those 2 niggas, this shit ain't no picnic over here, bro. He's better than bum ass Caleb Plant, nigga.
Should they both take tune-ups before they possibly get in the ring with each other?
Yeah, I mean, because right now, especially with Charlo, I do think Charlo needs a tune because he didn't actually look spectacular against that little ass junior welterweight he just beat up on.
I mean,
he looked okay offensively. He didn't look bad offensively. He just got hit.
Do you think they will try to force feed Benavidez and Morrell in response to Canelo not fighting? I don't want to see that fight yet. I don't. I love Morrell, this prospect, got a belt. I do not want to see Morrell Benavidez as of yet. I want Morrell to do more stuff. But I think they might force feed those 2 together. What you guys think?
I already told you how.
No, because they the thing with Benavidez's camp, they were talking about him or Morrell when he had about like 3 or 4 fights, and they said like, hey, on Morrell's side, and this was with his coach there, Coach Ronnie Shields, he was saying like, y'all should have went at him when he had about 3 or 4 fights, not now. Well, he's 9 fights in, but he's a big boy, man.
Athletic, skilled,
longer reach. But like he says, that fight might end up happening at 175, man. So yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we're gonna see what's gonna happen here with David Morrell. He's gonna have this fight, of course, in Minnesota against Sanak Becko in a couple weeks. He's gonna beat him up, man. That ain't gonna look all so good for Sanak Becko. But Benavidez, man, him and Canelo, I don't think that's happening until September, man. I really don't. Like I feel like it's going to be Canelo against either Jamal Charlo or against, man, like I said, man, I'm hoping in against Jaime Munguia. That like I don't see what the point is to face Jaime Munguia at this stage of your career if you're
See
Canelo
him get
Alvarez.
that first loss. Jaime Munguia been due to get that first loss.
Man, yeah, I mean, I feel you, but like, geez, like who else, man? I don't see Munguia as being all too hot though, man. Like, shoot, you put him up against Plan or Andrade or Charlo or like, man, shoot, he should have lost against Sergey Derevianchenko, man. Like, come on, man. Like, yo, I've
Hey,
never sold on him since he's been at 160.
Jaime said he gonna show us something if he get in that fight. He gonna be the underdog and show us something.
Yeah, we'll see about all that, man. I don't even know. Who was it? Oh, you wanted to Zoe, you wanted to talk about the thing with Jamal Charlo and the dude that was in the corner with that hat from the Dominican hat. Yo, that was crazy though.
But is he Dominican though?
Nah, I don't think so, man.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they are.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
I ain't know what side of the family it was, man. But maybe it is, man. I ain't even know about all that.
Like I said, if they are, it makes everything about them start making sense, man. The pictures start, folding, bro. Everything start falling into place. Them niggas always crying. They beta males. They soft as shit.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I haven't seen anything that says like he's part Dominican or anything like that.
I've been looking it up. I can't find nothing, but I feel it though. It feels right. It feels correct.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's based on the way they fight.
The other thing though, too, right, was it was like in the weigh-in, they had Terrence Crawford up in there in the weigh-in when Jamal Charlo was up there for the weigh-in or whatever it was. It almost seemed like he had Jamal Charlo been hanging around with Terrence Crawford since ever since Crawford beat Errol Spence or something like that. Man.
Shit.
Man, look, I'm tired of seeing Terrence Crawford, man. I'm tired of this dude.
Damn.
Get in the fucking ring, man. I'm tired of seeing this dude everywhere. But in the ring announcing a fight with another fighter.
It hasn't been that long since he beat Spence, bro.
But the thing is, they don't know they don't know what's next. They have to wait until everything gets sorted out here for 2024, and then once that happens, then they're gonna announce what's gonna, when the rematch. If there's a rematch that's gonna happen, or you're gonna have him facing Jamal Charlo or whatever it is, then that's when you're gonna see it. But they just trying to. I guess they just trying to sell Terrence Crawford because he's been having a whole lot of appearances out there, but he's been there. He was still in Vegas from Shakur Stevenson's fight or whatever it is, and they trying to make him be more more out there. To get the fans towards him.
That was the biggest Bama moment in the history, bro. When him, Shakur, and Andre Ward all walked together on that ring entrance. Them niggas look like three Bamas out there, bro. That shit was corny as hell.
This nigga. Yo, I know that. One thing I'm gonna say. Ever since Terrence Crawford completely annihilated, destroyed, and demasculated fucking Errol Spence, the hatred for any nigga associated with Bud then increased. Like I noticed, like the hatred for Keyshawn went up like 50%. The hatred for Shakur went up 50%. It's like do people realize?
No, man. Folks been against Shakur Stevenson.
I know they've been. No, I know that. But I'm saying it ratcheted up way more ever since Bud did what he did to Spence.
It got increased by 50%.
By 50%.
Nah,
and I think,
they been talking crazy.
the people who's doing that or just setting themselves up to feel the same way. It's like, and I be telling people, and I hate when I have to tell people that shit. I spent like fucking 8 months telling people for the rematch, Tyson Fury's gonna destroy Deontay Wilder. People didn't want to hear it because of their loyalty to PBC and the culture. They think that shit matters in boxing.
Hey, nigga,
So
you be wrong half the time. Don't be acting like you
man,
Nostradamus over here, nigga.
the only thing I got wrong so far that I predicted in this show has been 2 fights, and Navarrete Valdez, and the fact that Charlo fucking took a dive. You feel me? That's my 2 shits that I got wrong. Everything else
Yeah.
been on. You feel me? But
Hey, but hey, I still waiting for that little video audio clip of you saying that I said that.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send that shit to you.
This is best
I'm gonna
win.
send that shit to you. You said Hector Garcia, because this I can tell you what the day. This is the day when me and you was comparing our pound for pound list. I had Tank number 15. You inexplicably had Tank in the top 6. I think you had him in the
Yeah, he
top
was.
6, and I asked you who's his best win, and you said with confidence, you put the most confident face ever, Hector Garcia, the same guy we saw last night, that guy, and now you're trying to backtrack and try to erase it from history. Now I already told you, I already have it screenshot. I screen recorded it. I've been screen recorded it months ago.
Oh, we gonna have to go back on that one.
You said that shit, dog. You said that shit. You said that shit with confidence. But yeah, like I was saying, y'all did the same shit with Wilder twice. And then niggas spent 5 years because Bud is not signed with PBC. That's the only reason. People try to downplay his opponent, say he was gonna get ran over, he was gonna get washed, and then the exact opposite happened. You feel me? Then after that, then after now y'all doing the same thing with Shakur. Now with Shakur 11 once Tank, y'all guys gonna be on suicide watch. Stop setting yourselves up. You feel me? Stop doing that. And then not only that, niggas did the same shit with Fulton. And anyway, people kept on telling me anyway I debated people in this very platform. People telling me anyway was trash, blah blah. I know why, because he's not with PBC. That's it. All you need to do is sign with PBC and pretend you're nice. People
Nah,
said, man,
I think a little bit different because I never thought Earl was like that, and I still don't think Crawford like that. I mean, JB know my guy. I still think my guy beats the shit out of both Crawford and Spence.
who
You know what I'm
boots?
saying? Nah, hell nah.
Who?
Nope, it's the boots.
Who's this guy?
One time the authority.
One time,
Yeah.
man, you smoking disco biscuits.
I also support Keith Thurman.
Man,
Look,
I
I
see.
ain't saying he gonna beat them, but I say I support him now. I'm
I
just saying.
see Spence catching. I see Spence catching Keith Thurman with a body shot somewhere. He takes a shit in the ring, though. I see that shit
oh,
happening.
see,
Bro.
that's the thing. That was the initial problem. Y'all kept painting Spence as this body snatcher. Who the last
I'm
nigga?
not. I
You
don't.
just
I
did it.
don't.
Who the last nigga Spence put down with a body shot? The nigga Tim Zoo just knocked out in round 1.
Who did? I'm trying to remember. I might be wrong. I'm trying to remember who has Luis Colazo knocked down with a body shot.
Hey, put some respect on Luis Colazo's name because Luis
Who man?
Colazo.
Answer who?
Hey,
Who did Sean? Who has Sean Porter? Who has Sean Porter hurt to the body other than this guy?
Shit, it's not about who Sean Porter hurt to the body. Sean Porter was putting it on fighters.
Man, who did Sean? Man, Sean Porter, man, was putting on people with headbutts. The only person he stopped and hurt was motherfucking Paulie. Everybody else was headbutts.
Oh man, come on.
He knocked
Didn't he
Versatile with
headbutt
headbutts.
Paulie before he started hitting him and stuff?
I think they did last year.
He was hitting him with forearms and shit. I remember he was hitting that guy with his forearm and all that type of shit. He was just mauling Paulie.
Yeah, but Paulie.
No, I was there. I was there at that fight. That was at the DC Armory. That sweatbox there here, the DC Armory, man. He was throwing Paulie balling out you all around the ring there, man.
Yeah, he was mauling
who
him.
gave Paulie a worse beating, Cotto or Sean Porter?
Ricky Hatton.
I don't know. Maybe it was Cotto. Maybe it was
Ricky
Cotto.
Hatton. Ricky beat the shit out of him. Ricky stopped him.
Oh man, yo, but everybody, I think it was like everybody was a fan of Paulie Malignaggi getting beat up by
Wait,
Sean
hold up,
Porter.
hold up. Nah, I take that back. He fought Cotto tough. Like, yeah, he got his jaw broke, but he fought Cotto tough as hell. And Cotto fought him in a small ass ring. I remember that fight now. That ring was the size of a pizza box.
Yo, no, the thing with Hatton in 2008, man, that was almost like a clean sweep, and then Hatton just stopped him in the 11th, man.
Yeah, Hatton beat the dog shit out of him, though. I was surprised. I really thought he might have beat Hatton too, though. He beat the shit out of Hatton. Beat the shit out of Ricky.
Damn, bro. If only Paulie hit the weight room, bro.
You said what?
I said if only Paulie hit the weight room, shit would have been different.
Man, the weight room not gonna give you power, bro.
That nigga Paulie needed snacking some more shit.
Man, power that have no power, man.
He snagged Balco.
Man, I can't even remember a fight where he even stunned somebody. I'm gonna be real.
I'm sure he did it to somebody early. He probably had to do it to somebody early.
But I don't think he got anyone.
Hey, listen, Paulie Malignaggi has had 36 wins in his professional career. Guess how many wins by way of knockout?
7? 7, I'm right?
Yep.
And I bet all them shits is fake.
What that's not his game, and he's not he just had to build for that. Even
Nah.
Hunters, he had power like that. He doesn't.
Nah, I bet you those 7 knockouts, all them shits took place in New York, and then the mafia had a brown paper bag ready, nigga.
Nah, man.
He is Italian, man.
Like, man, dang, like the last knockout he had, like his last fight was in 2017. His last knockout was in 2012. That's wild.
2012? Who he knocked out in 2012?
Vajislav what is that? Sinchenko or something like that?
That shit had to be in Mexico.
He was paid.
Nah, it was in what, Ukraine or some shit?
And what was his rank? His record?
Oh, Sinchenko was undefeated.
What?
32-0, yeah.
Nah, ain't no way.
Yeah, that was for belt. Yeah, that was for belt. That's when he beat that was for the WBA belt. Damn.
Oh, that's when he
became
champion.
the belt he lost to Broner.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I mean that, man, that's wild, bro.
Nah, that guy had no fucking problem. Yo, I see somebody asked the question. They said, do you think, based off Boo Boo's resume, do you think he make the Hall of Fame? I said the only reason Boo Boo's not getting make up. I said the reason Boo Boo's not making the Hall of Fame had nothing to do with his resume. It's because the niggas who vote for you to be in the resume never fuck with them. That's all it is. They never fuck. If they fuck with you, you're gonna get in there because Arturo Gotti's in there. He'd be nobody of note.
Yeah,
but has he beat somebody of note though? So I mean, there is a legitimate, ask that question.
Talk about this with Andre. They said like the Martirosyan fight is like the one that folks point to as a notable win. Either that or the Jack Colgate fight.
Man, the Martirosyan fight, like if people just get back on the time machine and go back to who Martirosyan was at the time, niggas will stop looking at that fight like it was a sidebar. You feel me? I wasn't a sidebar, bro. That Martirosyan was a legit top 3, top 4 guy at the time.
154, yeah, but
that don't sound like a Hall of Fame.
But Arturo Gotti's in the fucking Hall of Fame. Is what I'm saying, though. Like if it's all a matter of who fucks with you. Gotti got 55 losses. Gotti beat nobody of note. The Gotti won a title at 140 that they just handed it to him. He got elevated once Costa Azul gave it up. You feel me? Like the niggas, come on, bro. He beat nobody, bro. Like he's trash. Like if a 2-inch meteor rock hit Earth right now, it will hit Gotti.
was he? I was thinking if he was like a two-time champ.
Yeah, he was 2 times. He won a belt at 135. I forgot who he beat. And at 140, he got elevated.
He won at 130 and at
40. Yeah, he got elevated at 140 once Kasazu gave up the belt.
Yeah. So
like even what you gonna call it? What's the nigga that had the upset win versus Patterson and didn't do nothing else his career? He lost right after Patterson again. He didn't do nothing else. What's his name?
what? Floyd Patterson or
Floyd Patterson. What's with Johansson? Johansson.
Yeah.
Yo, bro. Eye test wise, resume wise, bro, he fucking does not belong in there. So that's all. Like I said, it's all about who you take out for dinner, who you wine and dine and shit. You know what it is. You know what it is. It's the same way our Floyd Mayweather never got good publicity because he didn't wine and dine the right people. You feel me? These niggas was getting wine and dine by Golovkin's people and shit.
Yeah, I mean, you have those guys like Tom Loeffler in there with those guys a lot of times. So I'm
think about it. These voters we talk about had Triple G in the pound for pound discussion before he even fought Lemieux. Lemieux's not even something that should get you on the list, but they had him on the list before he even fought Lemieux. That just show you like some of this shit is like that. Who's gonna make the Hall of Fame? It's not about your resume, though. It's about what story they can manufacture about you.
Pretty much. That's kind of it because like a lot of those guys are members of like their Ring magazine or whatever it is, and you know, see who be heading the Ring magazine. So
exactly. Michael Moore is not in the Hall of Fame, bro.
Yeah, Michael Moore is not in the Hall of Fame, and he's what, 2 light heavyweight and heavyweight champion.
Yes,
you know, those top guys in the light heavyweight. He pretty much finished like number 1 at light heavyweight. He pretty much finished. Well, he was number 1 at heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, I don't understand it, man.
Yeah, he's not in there, but they got a bum ass motherfucker like that. That's what I'm saying. People could say what they want about Andrade. If Andrade was friends with the right people, he wine and dine the right type of people, none of that shit would matter. These, like I said, like these people was ready to put fucking Triple G was on the pound for pound list before he fought Lemieux. He came off a draw with Canelo and went number 1, or coming off a draw. He wasn't number 1 before the draw. He got number 1 after the draw, bro. Like, we can't take these people seriously, man.
Yeah, it'd be wild as hell with the joints with some of these pound for pound lists. But speaking of that pound for pound list, man, I'm gonna go back. I swear I'm gonna go back and find the joint where I had take. You know, he was like within the top 6 or 7 in the pound for pound list.
Yeah, man.
Luis Garcia, man. No, man.
I only had him on my top 15 because I didn't want to offend nobody. But now that I think about it, I was bugging. He don't even need to be in my top 15. I'm gonna put somebody else. I'm gonna put like motherfucking Sabril Matias.
He ain't gonna put Sabril Matias in the top 15, overtake Davis in the.
Yeah, I might do that, dog. And then, yo, you know what? I like that same video. You were spreading some propaganda on that video, and I know you're getting paid. Ella Beef slides you something under the table because you lied and you said on your platform, you feel me? That's watched by people, and you know you have influence. You said that Tank Davis is a 3-division champion. Why did you lie like that? You know that's false.
Come on, man. Hey, it's a belt, man. Yo.
Don't do that, bro. This Triple G has 20 consecutive title defense.
Wait. So is David Benavidez or David Burrell Jr. a world champ?
No. Canelo is the champion of the division.
Oh my God, yo. So Ian Montestanionis is not a world champion.
No, Terence Crawford has that belt.
Oh my
There's only
God.
2 champions at 147. That's Terence Crawford and Boots.
Oh my God!
Stop giving Tank accolades he don't have. Try to say he's a 3-division champion, man. You know he's a 2-time 1-division champ.
Didn't you start this podcast off talking about participation trophies and you was glad about people getting them and stuff?
Real belt, but that's a real belt. Lamont Roach just won the WBA Super, the actual belt. Tank has the WBA regular. That's not the real belt. The real belt is the belt Devin Haney has. That's different. That's tomatoes. That's
my God.
tomatoes. That's
Hey,
tomatoes and Hondas.
The regular is a real belt, though.
Huh?
The regular is a real belt.
No, it's not.
Bro, the regular was the belt.
The belt. And the thing with Lamont Roach Jr., he is the WBA super featherweight champion. He is not no super champion.
He's the WBA Super Champ. That's the real belt.
He's the super featherweight champion as far as the division, but there is no super champion there. Like he's the
No,
WBA.
I'm talking about. Oh yeah. You're right. There's no regular one. You're right. But yeah, right now, Devin Haney is the real, because this is what I don't get. If Tank has a real belt, then how the fuck is Devin Haney was undisputed? That comes to complete contradict the whole concept of undisputed. You feel me? There's no dispute. There's no other fucking belt.
Well, I mean, the super is just looked at as in a higher regard. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's the real belt, man. It's fuck that. It's fuck that. Niggas trying to fucking boost Tank, nigga. Nah, nigga, get the fuck out of here. They try to boost Tank, nigga. And then next thing you know, they's gonna tell you Rolly was an excellent fighter. Fucking Barrios was a legit nice.
I can't say
I ain't said no. We didn't say that about Rolly Romero. Nobody said that about Rolly Romero. No.
I've seen people saying that shit.
But the whole thing with Barrios, we go back and forth with that one because you don't like Mario Barrios. The last couple of times you were on, you pretty much was slandering Mario Barrios, man.
Yeah, because people be lying about Barrios. They be lying. People say, he gave Keith Thurman a tough fight. Why are you lying? He did not give Thurman a lot. He lost damn near every round.
That boy got beat for 12 rounds and had a moment.
Hey, last
and people want to pretend it was a tough fight just because they want to say, well, that's another one. Tank had that age well, man. And then he beat Ugas, who's 93 years old, coming off the demolition job Spence put on him. Like, come on, bro.
Yo, Terrell, what you were saying?
A while back when we talked about Tank going up to 140 and winning that belt, you said it is a real belt because he paid a sanctioning fee. That was your argument on that one, I recall.
Who said that?
JR,
you disgusted.
Yo, who has that belt now?
You disgusted. The WBA
champ. Like,
you said
on.
what?
Who has that belt? Tank won from Barrios.
Or the WBA?
Yeah.
Shashela vacated it.
I forgot all about it because I remember Tank won it, but he ain't never defended.
No, Tank never won it. Tank won the fake belt against Barrios. Barrios wasn't the real champion. Josh
but that's
Taylor
what I'm saying.
won.
What happened to that belt?
They consolidated it. Remember? I mean, I know the WBA got rid of it, didn't they?
Oh, is that what they did?
They probably did.
Because if they didn't get rid of it, they would have handed that shit.
What it is right now, like they don't have a WBA champ at 140.
Yeah, we got a WBA recess. Yeah, because Rolly's in recess.
Oh
yeah, because Alberto Pollo.
Yeah.
Is he coming back?
Who, Rolly?
Yeah.
Alberto.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Yeah, he probably coming back. He has to. So when he comes back, No, I don't think so because they named Rolly championship in recess. So that means whoever wins the Barbosa or Harry Davis fight has to fight Rolly for the 4 WBA title. So yeah, Rolly. And then, in fact, as a matter of fact, the title Rolly won against fucking Barbosa was the 4 title. That wasn't a regular. That was a 4-1.
Damn, they really got Rolly on this protection program.
Yep. They want to preserve him. They want to preserve him so they could give Tank a real belt.
If they were going to try to eventually set up Rolly to fight Ryan Garcia for the belt.
That's what.
If they were smart, they should have just fed Rolly to Sabril Matias, man.
Why?
Why not? Bro, he's about to be the next Trinidad, bro.
Listen. The PBC wants to preserve Rolly so he could fight Ryan. Whoever wins that fight gets a rematch
That's a
against
waste
Tank at 140,
of
so Tank can
time.
win a
That's a
free
waste of
belt.
time, bro. I'm telling you, a bigger fight is Matias versus Ryan or Matias versus Tank, bro. Rolly is a
That is
waste
not
of
a
time.
bigger fight.
It is definitely a bigger fight.
Matias is not that big, bro.
It's gonna be more action packed. And when you bring action in the ring, bro, I'm
Tank
telling
is
you,
not
it's
going
gonna
to go up to
sell.
140. I don't think Tank's going up to 140 again.
I mean,
If
if he does,
Ryan and Rolly are still world champion, that's a fucking legitimate option. That's the type
and
of
then
shit.
look at this,
That's the
look at this.
weasel shit they do. That's the fucking weasel shit they do over there.
You got Ryan Garcia in association with Golden Boy, who's backed by Oscar De La Hoya. And then you know what I'm saying? And then you got Sabril Matias, who's a Puerto Rican, bro. I mean, it's like it's a story written all over again. I'm telling you, it's the perfect fight, bro.
Ryan versus
Rollies is just there to be there, bro. He's just holding up a space for no reason.
Man, they better hope my Haitian boy don't get in there and I'll point that boy and ruin this whole party.
But I don't know whether where Hitchens is gonna be able to get inside there, but pause. Like I don't know where Hitchens fits in this though.
I don't know where he's going though.
And he next in line for the IBF.
He should be, but we gotta see like what the IBF says in reference to that.
Man, I like my boy to get that shot, man. I like my boy to get that shot.
I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Y'all heard what Teo said, right? Teo said he turned down to fight with Ryan.
Yeah,
that's the thing that I was gonna go into next, man. He said he turned down the Ryan Garcia fight, talking about sponsorships and all this other stuff in reference to other money, and then he said you only got an offer of what, like $2 million or something like that.
Yeah, 1.5. They offered him
1.5 million, and I'm like, man, ain't no way that it could have been a $1.5 million.
There's no way he got offered 1.5 million.
Hey, bro, you never know. You never know.
Nah, man.
But I'd be curious to see how much Ryan is getting for this Oscar Duarte fight that's on Saturday. But yeah, outside of that, man, like only 1.5. I don't see where it would be like 1.5 for a fight of that magnitude. Man.
Yeah, that's a minimum. That's at the low end. You getting a guaranteed $5 million. That's at the low end.
Yeah, that's the thing. But my thing is like right now, I don't know what the status or the state of pay-per-view is now. You know what I'm saying? As after this year, it's gonna be cut down.
Arabia.
What? But I feel like if there's gonna be anything in reference to pay-per-view, I think them prices are gonna be slashed, bro. I think them prices are gonna be slashed.
Teofimo, another one too, man. Teofimo killing me, bro. Yo, defend your fucking belts. Why are you just sitting there, bro? Like this.
Because he's the WBO super champion. He can. They gave him the right to do that.
Yeah, they elevated his status. He's the super champ.
Yeah, but it irritates me that somebody can just sit there and hold a spot like that, bro. Like,
yep. I mean, hey, they elevate. But the only reason they elevate him because he doesn't want to fight Barboza.
Which is nasty. That's nasty, bro. That's
nasty. At all.
Look at his last post-fight comments. He said he wants to get paid big dollars, so he's trying to wait that out.
But I mean, listen, if you stay active and you continue fighting, the money's going to influx. Like it's going to come in. You know what I'm saying? You're only going to build your stock.
Yeah, not because he's a mentally a volatile person. What you get one night might not be the person you get another night. You don't want him to go into the wrong fight and get a Cambosis Sandor Martin moment. You feel me? He's 1,000 times better than that, but he be having those moments, bro.
You right on that.
Hey man, this is boxing, bro.
Still got it. I mean, you got one day he feels like he's the best in the world, and then another day he's like, "Do I still got it?" So
like my boy Jane Tony, my favorite fighter, man. You'll see him go put up a blistering performance in Iran Barkley, and in the next 2 months he against some nondescript nigga look like shit. You feel me? Hey, some niggas do that.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes in boxing, man. But like, yeah, I don't see why Teofimo won't like just had this fight against Barbosa, man. I mean, you know, he's there, he's a top, you know, top guy there at super lightweight, undefeated. And it ain't like, you know, I think it's because maybe Barbosa is kind of like a bad style matchup for him. You know,
But
maybe
also
like,
got like what 5 knockouts?
he got 10,
10, okay.
Out of how many fights?
28.
Man, like, bro, oh man,
Yeah,
bro. There's no reason you shouldn't be hopping in the ring with that dude. Like,
yeah,
Man,
like,
if you worried
it's like,
about his movement, you know, negotiate a small ass ring, negotiate a phone booth. If you worried
yeah,
about that shit.
yeah, do something, man. Cause like, yeah, these folks gotta, you know, stay active, bro. Like this one fight a year stuff ain't cutting it, man.
But
You know,
one fight a year is gonna be more frequent because, like I said, Disney's talking about slashing the budget in half for boxing, so that's half the dates, man. So we gotta get used. This is what, man. We gotta.
you gotta be used to more pay-per-view opportunities because that's the only thing they're gonna have.
have
Yeah,
y'all
that's
noticed?
it.
More fighters been talking about fighting 3 to 4 times a year in their post-fight interviews.
Man.
I mean, that's what they say.
Unless they know something we know, unless like Netflix or HBO or someone from motherfuckers from Saudi Arabia come drop that WWE bag or some shit, I don't see it.
Yeah, man. I don't see where they get that at. You know, I don't know where that's coming from because
You know what? I think whoever, if it is happen to be Netflix, Amazon Prime, or HBO, if it happens to be any one of them, these companies gonna have to know, like, you have to really invest for real. Like, I'm talking about, you're gonna really have to go crazy with them all access type shows. You're gonna have to really get like these fighters known. You feel me? You have to promote these niggas, like put these, have these niggas on, like, if whatever series you have on HBO, shit. If you have a Game of Thrones, put Deontay Wilder in a fucking episode of Game of Thrones, on some miscellaneous role.
put them on some other stuff, man, to get them out there. And the thing
Yeah,
about
you got.
Put him in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
So put him in Game of Thrones.
I'm just talking about. Okay, you remember how like on
A nigga with
Showtime.
tattoos. Put him in Game of Thrones. Bro.
Yeah, because you remember on Showtime, what I mean by that, you remember like on Showtime they had Deontay Wilder in an episode of he did a little brief cameo on Billions, you feel me? On shit like that, you feel me? Like those little cameos, like how they used to do back in the day. That shit goes a long way to promote the fucking fight. Like, especially if he's already in your network. Like, even if it's Netflix, bro, you tell me you can't get them, you can't get all the marquee fighters a little 20-second cameo on a fucking show that's already popular, that's already trending and shit, you feel me? Or that should have helped. Or you can have our own Netflix shows about training camp, you feel me? A 10 episode training camp going to the fight. All that should have helped, you feel me? Like, if the next people who fucking gets into business with PBC, you gotta go all in. You can't just be saying, I'm paying licensing fees and dates and all. Nah, it's just more than that shit.
well, they would have to invest, but they would invest a little bit more in order to try to get a better return on them when these fighters actually do fight. So,
Yeah.
and it is basically, and that's the thing too, right? If these fighters are fighting like 2 times a year, like what are you doing in all these other times? I mean,
Yeah.
you pretty much got to stay in shape and everything like that. But outside of that, you got to figure out a way to like kind of get yourself out there for people to, be actually interested in you. You know what I'm saying? So that's
They
the
need to
thing
do
about
it like Tank. All these fighters used to do it like Tank. Like, when Tank's not having, if it's not outside the COVID year and the years when he had, the little criminal charges and shit. Outside of that, Tank is fighting like 3 times in a 12-month period. You feel me? Consistently.
yeah.
So that's what you need. You need to be like, every time you blink, every quarter of the year, you niggas is out there. You feel me? And in the middle of that shit, Netflix, Amazon Prime, you need to have shows. You need to have shows that's based around promoting these fighters some way. You feel me? Like, whatever. Even if you got to pick up their motherfucking YouTube series, because all these fighters got YouTube series.
That's the thing. They be on the YouTube stuff or some of these
Yeah.
other shows will be there
Even
with
if you got to pick that shit up, put a little bit of budget to make it look a little more extravagant.
or something like that. So like they be around these social media guys because that's pretty much being the wave now, is kind of being on social media, being on TikTok, whatever it is. That's how these fighters are building these building more attention. So maybe more of these fighters are gonna have to do that. But I just don't see a number of these fighters like making that type of effort to do that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think niggas got to start hitting like the regional pavement more. Like if you're gonna have like for instance, you have a nigga like Shakur fight 3 times a year. You gotta alternate. You gotta be MSG Theater, Prudential Center, Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. All in 3 years. You gotta build up that region. You feel me? Like Haney, you gotta have fucking 3 fights in the West Coast. You feel me? Like you gotta do that shit to build niggas up so they have like a cult like following. You know how like Bud in Nebraska, that shit's a cult like following. No matter what, he's gonna have motherfuckers that pull up and sell that shit out. They might not buy the pay-per-view, but they gonna sell that shit out. These fucking country niggas gonna drive to go see this nigga. You feel me?
Yo,
So you need to
I was
start
thinking
building up
about
that
this the
region.
other day.
Huh?
If the PBC should have Tank back in DC again and have Lamar
Yeah.
on the undercard.
Yeah, to build the inevitable filler fight. Yep, I agree.
They definitely need a hometown fight for those fighters since they champions.
Put that shit in Capital One.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that I've been waiting on is to have Tank have another fight at Capital One, but I thought it would be like a rematch there against Eastside Cruz, but that remains to be seen.
I think Eastside Cruz versus Tank in DC. Oh, that shit gonna be crazy.
Yeah, so I mean I don't mind that. I mean why not have that? Like the thing over in Los Angeles. Like they had to do that because Rolly was kind of like scratched out of it, and
Yeah.
So that's why they had Eastside Cruz step in. But now you're gonna have Eastside there, in a full camp or whatever it is, and put them in DC. Like why not go ahead and have that happen? So I'm waiting on that. But what is it about 2 hours in, man? I'm pretty much putting this joint to a close. Shout out to everybody that's joined in live. On the chat and hit the like button and support the Boston Source. You can hit
Wait, hold up.
Before
you leave, do everybody agree that Lamont Roach is the worst champion at 130?
Ooh, hold up. You got.
Why are you thinking? Why are you making it sound difficult? This is very easy.
Daniel Navarrete. You got. Come on, Joe Cordina. You don't think he's better than Cordina?
Listen.
No,
I ain't gonna lie. Cordina be cooking.
Foster knocks out Cook. Foster knocks out Roach. Navarrete fucking batters and horribly beats him. Cordina embarrasses him. They take that shit across the season. Cordina embarrass him.
I think Cordina will have to come to the States, bro.
Why? Cordina's bigger than him. Why? Why would Cordina do that?
Ain't nobody nobody's going over to Cordina, bro. Cordina's gonna have to come across the street, dog.
He's a bigger attraction than fucking whatchamacallit is.
It depends if Roach is still going to be a free agent.
Man, however that fight happens, there's no reason it's gonna happen in America. Because that's not gonna be no main event. Who the fuck cares about that?
But it'll be a main event. It'll be a fight on the undercard.
But it'll be a main event in England.
Yeah, it'll be a main event in England.
It'll be a main event in England, dog. It'll definitely be a main event in England, dog. That's why it makes more sense. And Oscar Valdez beats up fucking Roach too.
Oh, you're bugging. Adam Lopez arguably just got robbed against Oscar Valdez. And you talking about Lamont Roach would lose to Oscar Valdez.
Bro, be for real.
Bro, go back and watch that fight.
Which one? The first one or second one?
The second one.
You smoking coke?
Didn't he get dropped in the first one?
No, man. Like Valdez.
He got dropped in the first one, right?
Yeah, I thought he got dropped in the first one.
Yeah, he got dropped in the first one. The second one, he beats the shit out of fucking
Bro, no, he didn't. He was getting touched up with a jab the entire fight.
Bro.
And they robbed him on the scorecards.
They gave Oscar Valdez like 8 of those 10 rounds, man.
Yeah, he I don't know what y'all see. Y'all probably remembering when Lopez fought Fulton. That's probably
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna show you exactly why Oscar Valdez lost that fight. Look at how he went in there and fought Navarrete. He ain't stand a chance. There's no way you win a fight like that and then you go in and fight Navarrete and have a bad performance like that. Like, bro, no, you look shit your fight prior to that, and that's why you lost. You only as good as your last fight.
He got
You
beat
think
up.
so? That's not true.
Yeah, I'm telling you, watch it.
That's nonsense. You only good as your last fight is nonsense because Teofimo's fight before Josh Taylor or Sandor Martin. Bevo's 3 performances heading into fucking Canelo was dog water.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so perfect. I'm glad you said it. Teofimo's fight versus Sandor Martin, right? Sandor Martin was a dude who was circle the ring, right? A guy who wouldn't be stationary like Josh Taylor, right? So stylistically, it would have been a problem for Josh Taylor because Teofimo's a guy who's just going to jump on you and get in and out.
Did you see Bevo's 3 fights leading up to Canelo? His 3 fights before Canelo.
Nah, I never heard
I
of
saw
Bevo.
the last fight before he fought Canelo.
Yeah, man, that shit. Yeah, you see, I was big on Bevo, and then after he won the title, it was like his performance dipped. It's just like he got worse and worse and worse. But I still thought he had enough to beat Canelo. But when that fight happened, he just turned it back all the way. You feel me? All the way back to who he used to be. You feel me? But like, I saw that shit coming. But like, yeah, so that you only good as your last fight is not all necessarily true because you have niggas like Tyson Fury. You feel me? Like he literally fights to the level of his competition.
Well, I mean, you can say that about Fury, but you know, in some cases, but in other cases, like his fight against
James Toney.
No, but Tyson Fury against Dylan White and Derek Chisora, like he beat the snot out of both of those guys. So
Yeah, but he also had the Otto Wallen fight before Wilder that was so bad that they had to fire Ben Davidson and get a whole new training staff. You
He
feel me?
arguably lost that fight.
Oh no.
So yeah, So I mean, that's the thing
Come on,
too,
bro.
man. But yeah, that's it, man. 2 hours in. Man, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do next week, man, because I'm gonna be like out on vacation or whatever it is. I'm gonna see if I'll, be back on Sunday. I don't think there's gonna be a midweek report, but we'll see about that. But thanks to Brother Terrell, Chip Bayless in the building, Zoe, and the Boxing Academic for joining in live this conversation, man. I'm still looking for that. I'm gonna go back in the archives and I'm gonna see if I can find where
I'm gonna send you that shit. Watch, you're gonna be mad as hell. I'm gonna send you that shit.
So man, but we'll see what's up with that. But big ups to everybody that's joining in live in this conversation here, man. Like I said, man, Benavidez, against Canelo. We'll see if that. Like I said, I doubt that happens next. Canelo will fight either Jamal Charlo or man, so we'll see how that goes, man. But big ups to him in his performance against Demetrius Andrade. But I'll catch y'all later, folks. Like I say at the end of every show, point of boxing is to hit and not get hit, not to send and trade. On that note, I'm out. Have a good evening, everybody.
Later.